Okay, YouTube. This is a book. It's Wilderness Evasion. It's a guide to hiding out and eluding pursuit in remote areas by Michael Chesbro. And I don't know if you can see that, Michael Chesbro. It is. It's not a very thick book. 150 pages in it. Couple of diagrams here and there. Reason why I read this book is Adventure K9 was showing some books that he had read. I've read some of the ones he's read, but this one seemed to pique his interest, so I thought, you know what, I'll take a look at it and read it. And it did. It piqued my interest. I think if you're in a prepper, bug out kind of mindset, you really should take a look at this book. It's got some interesting information in it, and for me, my my ideas of bugging out are probably could be a little different than the other person's ideas of bugging out. In my mind, I'm thinking I'm either going to be bugging out of a different location than a bug out location. So I'll be bugging out from like work or somewhere else, trying to make it home to a bug out location. And one of the things that you want to do is maybe not be seen or try to evade general public, depending on what's going on. With like Katrina, I mean, people were getting robbed. People were getting robbed for money, gas, food. It was just total chaos. So that's a good reason why you probably don't want to be seen. Now, if you check out the Modern Homesteader, he's just put out 2 SHTF videos of where he did a 15-mile hike, got dropped off at a location, and then did 15 miles back to his home. And he has the same kind of mindset as that his home will be his bug out location. You could also have another bug out location somewhere else other than your home, and this book would definitely, you could definitely learn something from it that might be applicable or applied to your particular bug out. Well, anyway, in this the homesteader, Modern Homesteader videos, he tried to avoid contact with people. There's even one mention in there that a police car went by, and he was off the main road on some sort of closed down trail. And that this book, it really talks to that, and talks about how far if you're in an evasion mode, how far you can travel an hour. Once you get to a location, what you should do, how you should set up sort of a shelter that may be temporary or maybe even permanent. It's interesting because he really looks at it like, you could totally be using this book to kind of evade from somebody that's trying to get you. He makes fun of the alphabet agencies that are trying to get you, and so you kind of try to evade that and go to a remote location. It's funny. I actually this book, I know somebody that they could have probably benefited from reading this book. They left from New York and went to Alaska for 2 months, hiding from an organization, we'll say, that has some European roots, we'll put it that. And he totally went to Alaska and totally, used, without knowing, what this book said, but used some of the techniques of, you kind of dropping off the map, or the grid, so to speak. So, yeah, so I would definitely add this to a, library collection of bug out prepping survival books. So again, I guess, I hate to use the term shout out, but to the K9, Adventure K9 for the heads up on this. He's has a couple other books that I'm actually reading, in the process of reading right now, so I'll do a kind of an overall on them. As you can see, he talks about, real quick, I'll just put this in here, about being tracked, how to cover your tracks. And this actually applies to the Modern Homesteader with his evasion technique. You know, he moved. He was doing a 15-mile hike, and in this book, it really talks about you know, how far can you go when you're in this evasion mode. You know, you don't want to be running down the street, but you're going to be going through the bush, and you're going to be moving slowly. So you're looking at, you know, probably 2 miles an hour. Every hour you've just gone 2 miles. So hopefully the modern homesteader maybe might have looked at this book. But anyway, so this is just my look on this, view on it, I guess. It's not a, I don't want to say this is a review of the book, because I really haven't talked about every aspect of it. So I'll tell you what, I'll just go down the content in here. Building a good, it talks about building a good kit, you know, like a bug out bag, developing the proper mindset, getting there, resupplying yourself. If you have to go into a small town where your location is, maybe you're outside of the town, evading pursuit, communications, navigation, firearms, and survival. It's interesting. One of the things that he put in here is about having a 22, and the modern homesteader on his hike took a 22 pistol and a 22 rifle. So he did mention, though, if you're going to be out really in the rugged terrain, you might want to have a larger rifle. He does not like shotguns, so that was kind of interesting, just because of the size. And also, one of the really interesting thing, real quick mention, is primitive weapons, like a throwing stick, you know, other kind of weapons that you can utilize if you're in a remote or in a location that you don't want to be discovered, and you don't want to have firearms, you know, the ammunition going off and alerting people to your location. Making these primitive weapons to try to get food. He did talk about a CB-22 round, utilizing that as a low noise ammunition, which is another kind of interesting. Talks about food and water, and also camouflage, fire starting, shelters, and some survival medicine. So you know, it's a quick read. Anyway, well, thanks, YouTube.